Greetings to all, my name is Pang Xuan and I'm going to present my final project, Heritage and Conservation Proposal Report Presentation. First, about the introduction. For the summary scope of the project, we are assigned to prepare a heritage conservation proposal report on the given building, which is the Istana Bandar. The project objective is to introduce the basic principle and concept heritage conservation and documentation. The main goals of this project is to let students understand and identify the key principles and theories that have shaped the practice and problems in the area of heritage. Moving on to project description. Istana Bandar is located in Jugra under the region of Kuala Langat, which is one of the districts of Selangor. Istana Bandar is a royal palace owned by the 5th Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sir Alauddin Sulaiman Shah. It also has another name of Istana Alauddin and Istana Tamasha. Sultan himself has chosen this strategic place and involved in designing and funding the construction from his personal wealth. After Istana Bandar is abandoned, State Government of Selangor took initiative to have restoration to community purpose. Then on the year 2008, Istana Bandar was officially entrusted to Selangor Board of Museum for restoration, then handed over to Malaysia Custom and National Heritage Corporation of Selangor. Istana Bandar was an art center and a Tahfiz school, and finally a living museum before it was left abandoned. Thus, the proposed use is to restore back the Istana Bandar with original materials and design and continue to be a living museum, serve as a living learning book for the community. Kuala Langat has a strong connection with the establishment of Selangor as in the 15th century. It was the district of Kerajaan Melayu Melaka together with the Kelang and Jeram. Then in the year of 1857, the centre of administration of Selangor is moved to Jugra, which is under the district of Kuala Langat, by Sultan Abdul Samad due to political, economic and social issue. Istana Bandar was built during the family crisis between Sultan Alauddin's first wife and Sultan's second wife, which is the common bond, stated in the Kuala Langat District Council. Sultan built the palace for his second wife as his first wife is staying in Istana Mahkota Puteri. Thus two palace is built to fulfill the needs of both wives. Sheikh Aminah binti Pelong passed away after staying in Istana Bandar for 3 years. Then Sultan Alauddin's subsequent wives continued to live here until the day he passed away. On 1899, the construction of Istana Bandar started and it finished at the year 1903. After Sultan Alauddin passed away, it left the Istana Bandar to abandon period. Then the restoration started by state government on the year 1980. After the restoration complete, it became an art and craft center. Then it transformed into Tahfiz school as the art and craft center is lack of popularity. In the year 1999, Tahfiz school moved out, then the Istana Bandar is left abandoned again. In the year 2008, major restoration is done by Selangor Boards of Museum and it became living museum since then. Istana Bandar has rich historical value and aesthetic value. Thus, it makes it very important to remain and restore back the Istana Bandar. There is a diverse influence of architecture style in Istana Bandar, which is from Moorish, India, Chinese, colonial, and Malay architecture style. Moorish architecture have patterns following Qurans, while Mongol architecture has combination of Islamic, Persian, and Indian architecture. Colonial architecture can be most found due to the Western colonization, and the most prominent style can be found is mixed British and Mongol style. Malay architecture style is able to suit in tropical climate with design of wide roof overhang and high-pitched roof allow natural ventilation. In Chinese architecture, most significant design is including courtyard to allow ventilation. Moving on to structure and construction of the Istana Bandar. Strip foundation is used and timber and concrete column are mainly used as structural support in Istana Bandar. The flooring in ground floor is using concrete, unlike traditional architecture. This is because it is straight constructed from the foundation and it support the column. And groove and slotting method is used for second floor's flooring. Joists are slotted in perpendicularly on beam in the row, then wooden planks rest on top of it. Wall of Istana Bandar is thicker compared to normal wall. Thus, this can conclude that the wall is load-bearing wall. And the existing windows and doors are constructed using mortise and tangent joists. Gable roof is used in Istana Bandar and there is two types of truss system can be found in the building: common roof tiles and king post truss. In Istana Bandar, the tiles of roof are held by permanent layer of cement in longitudinal manner. Istana Bandar uses egg albumens as finish material as this is the most common adhesive for construction in that era. The material used in Istana Bandar is concrete, clay bricks, ceramic tiles, chengal timbers, terracotta tiles, and marble. Most significant elements can found in Istana Bandar is the facade. The facade of Istana Bandar display a mixture of all architecture styles that influence the building. Tuscan column is widely used in Istana Bandar that have different height and diameter. Most window in Istana Bandar is casement window that have slender steel bar behind to provide security purpose. There is also different armaments and design for each type of windows. Single hinge door in Istana Bandar is made from timber with Chinese block ornament on top, allow ventilation for toilet. And double hinge door is used in ground floor of Istana Bandar, express simplicity. Double hinge door with pointed trefoil arch has a top mullion to enhance the Mongol architecture style. An arch-top braced door acts as a sturdy door to increase the security of Istana Bandar. It is located outside to act as a barrier between outside and private courtyard. The roof of Istana Bandar was mainly influenced from Western, Chinese and Malay architecture. Also a mixture of roof which is Flemish gable roof and bumbung limas. Roof lantern, courtyard, pool, and veranda is also able to found in Istana Bandar. Concrete stairs will prevent floods from ruining the wooden steps. Thus, wooden stair is used in the interior of Istana Bandar. The ornament in Istana Bandar enchants different style of architecture of exterior building, and it is focusing more on symbolism purpose. For example, the pinnacle symbolize the power of king, the cartridge symbolize the royalty, and the logo of Royal Selangor ornament indicate the royal property. These are the current image of Istana Bandar and the orthographic drawing of Istana Bandar. Due to pandemic reason, we are assigned with scenarios, which is the building has been left without care for 3 years. Thus, the exterior wall needs new paintwork and treatment. The assigned exterior facade of Istana Bandar is left elevation with grade A to G, and the interior part of Istana Bandar is bedroom of the first floor. The condition of the roof is poor as some of the roof tiles is broken, then some is slipping due to the layer of cement is cracking and it is not able to hold on the roof. Exterior wall have signs of biogrowth, the crack of the wall indicating harmful growth. Plaster and paint is peeling off. The window on the exterior showing termite attack result part of the window is damaged and some part of glass panel has showing signs of cracking. For the interior wall of bedroom, it has serial mold attack in the interior part due to moisture and damp surface of the wall. and there is mold attack caused by moisture and damp surface to the window timber frame and panel in the bedroom. For treatment of cracking cement layers, first to remove the broken or defect tiles of roof, then scrape off the cement layer, then apply new cement on it, then replace the original type of roof tiles with original arrangement. For the peeling of paint caused by the wet throttling of white coat, plant is removed from crack. The remaining residue is removed after the plant is removed. The area around the crack is scraped, then repaired with mortar. Final coat with similar original surface is applied, then original paint color is applied. Any unsound substance are removed from the cavities. The areas around the holes are scrubbed with bonding grout after being immediate tamped with repair mortar made from the original material. Final coat and paint from original color. Remove the biogrout stand in the interior wall. For the wet roof and termite attack window, glass panel is replaced back with original frames, and all rotten wood is removed using hammer and chisel, and the areas are cleaned. The affected areas are treated with wood filter and sanded with drying, followed by a finished layer of filter. A layer of paint is applied, followed by a layer of wood hardener and preservative as the final layer to protect the timber. Moving on to building treatment proposal. The building facade is closer to glass rand, showing that there is sign of biogrowth as the exposure of moisture is higher. The facade also suffer cracking of wall due to rainfall without maintaining from time to time. The entrance should be restored back according to original style, materials, as the entrance of Istana Bandar is one of the most significant features of the building. The pedestrian area overall is in good condition, but the surrounding vegetation need to be tidied up to prevent hazard. The interior is mostly attacked by mold or fungi and termite due to high moisture. Conservation practice include first documentation and record, the dilapidation survey and building investigation, moving on to the conservation work on heritage site, and finally a final report of whole process. There is two parts of documentation and record. Part A is the historical research, is to compile all available evidence on the building and the site that needs to be conserved before any design strategy is proposed for the conservation project. This need to be conducted well with physical investigation, allowing time for important information to be located, transcribed, studied, and using it for planning for the actual work. On Part B, measured drawing is done after the historical research is done. The drawings need to be defined the heritage building in existing condition accurately with details. Defect areas such as crack or missing parts should be included too. Moving on to dilapidation survey and building investigation. This step is to know as the practice to identify and recording building defect through the means of photographic and digital documentation before the conservation work starts. It includes the walkthroughs of heritage building for gathering and recording information based on observation of the finished surface or any exposed structure. Site testing is first to come into the survey. The action is carried out using instruments to identify any materials and the condition of the building. For more in-depth investigation, laboratory tests can evaluate original materials composition that cannot be identified with naked eye. Preparation of tender documents to determine the estimate cost of the whole construction. Then comes in the conservation work. A proposal will be prepared by conservator after diagnosis the defect of the subject building that stated the techniques of the conservation and restoration work. All processes are guided and monitored by guidelines and standards set by the Department of National Heritage. STEP also require documentation of activities by recording the condition of the building before, during, and after the conservation work. It serves as an essential archival resources for future reference, and it is considered a valuable record and property of national heritage. Finally, management and maintenance of heritage sites. Comprehensive planning and action through the conservation of cultural heritage management plans need as it involve efforts of care maintained from time to time. Rehabilitation is the most suitable conservation work for Istana Bandar. As for peeling paint, scrape off the old coat of paint using scrape painter or wire brush, then cover the area using primer to allow dry. Repaint it with multiple layers. Clean out old mortar and break it out using hammer or chisel that can fit in the joists to remove the erosion of mortar joint. Then fill in the joint with new mixed mortar. Replace the broken ornaments and window with prototype that mimics the original design. To remove the mold growth, apply borax solution. Scrap the area with rag or wire brush until the mold is gone. Wipe the area off and make sure the surface is dry completely. To conclude, all the application is following the ECOMOS principle. For example, each intervention should as far as possible respect the concept, techniques and historical value of original or earlier states of structure and leaves evidence that can be recognized in the future. The application is to paint the facade out and restore back with original design. And deteriorated structure wherever possible should be repaired rather than replaced. To apply that, peeling off plaster or paint is restored, and crack on the wall is repaired back, and biogrowth on the wall is cleaned using non-abrasive cleaning method. Although in this modernized area, more and more building is demolished to develop a new area, there is still more heritage building that is worth fighting for to remain its identity for many more decades later. Every heritage building has its own story to tell to the future generation, and we should appreciate the beauty of heritage left from the past. It is alone a life textbook for us to explore and learn. But do concern that conservation should follow the principle and respect it as a culture that restoring its glory is the priority aim of the conservation. Thank you for listening for my presentation.